teachers, dignitaries, all brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. My topic is Muslim approach to modernity, a study of Sayyid Ahmad and Bediuzzaman Sayyid Nursi. The present article investigates the views of two great thinkers, Sayyid Ahmad and Bediuzzaman Sayyid Nursi, analytically about solving the problems of modernity. Sayyid Ahmad and Bediuzzaman Sayyid Nursi lived in an era that the Islamic world was intensively involved in domestic tyranny, foreign colonialism, negligence of people, and in one word, in the era of decadence. These two patriotic, illuminating, and practical efforts try to restore dignity and honor of Muslims. In this regard, some part of their efforts were focused on modernity and its dimensions. Studying the work of these two great eminent scholars indicate the awareness of modernity and its origin, development, principles, objectives, and its consequences. This paper sheds light on the aspect of modernity with its materialistic philosophy that challenges monotheistic belief and Islamic teachings very hard and casts doubts in the validity and rightfulness of unity and the divine essence, monotheism of attributes and lordship of monotheism. Materialistic philosophy of modernity presents an incorrect interpretation of God, human and nature, and the existing relationship between these three result in negation of divinity. Due to the present issue of Western modernity, there arose several crucial questions, like is Islam compatible with modernity? How do Muslims respond to the continuous change of the world? How do we resolve the problem of maintaining the legacy of the past in our religious tradition and integrate change into society and our lives? How do we introduce change and smoothly, which is rare and difficult, without disrupting society's anticipating values? To answer these questions, Sayyid Nursi presents his approach. Bediuzzaman Sayyid Nursi understood that Islam had stopped progressing as civilization because it no longer spoke in the heart of the modern man, as it continued to rehash old knowledge and old traditions. Sayyid Nursi brings back the quality of the eternal to Islam by situating the religion back into the present and making it relevant to modern thought and understanding, rather than simply a force that is external to the religion. In a parallel comparison, Nursi turned to look at why Christianity was the cause of the European lack of progress during the Middle Ages. What were the caste Christians and their life down into the valley of misguiding is the only dismissal of reason, rejection of proof, and blind imitation of the clergy. Under Risala Noor and Reason and Science, the Noor groups have evolved into the most powerful and effective socio-political communities in contemporary Turkey. Sayyid Nursi is writing particularly his magnum opus, Risala Noor, that is called as the Epistle of Light, constitutes the base of his faith movement. By studying the Nursi movement, one can understand the dynamics of religion and state on the one hand, and modernity and identity on the other. The three major objectives of Risala Noor: to raise the consciousness of Muslims, second, to refute the dominant intellectual discourses of materialism and positivism, third, to discover collective memory by revising the shared grammar of society, that is Islam. Through these objectives, he struggled to come up with a new interpretation and methodology of Islam. He stressed the study of the Quran to adapt Islam to modern conditions. Such a study had to be undertaken by educated Muslims, for he realized that the traditional ulama, who claimed to possess a monopoly over the interpretation of religious texts, could not meet the challenges of a positivistic age in which a new critical stance towards knowledge has developed. Moreover, intended through the Risala Noor, prove the truth of belief, to strengthen traditional Quranic values and institutions, so as to combat the disintegrated forces unleashed by modernization and repair their harm. It is quite amazing that Sayyid Nursi saw the Risala Noor fulfilling in a particular condition of the 20th century. He endeavored to bring together a complementary fashion, different disciplines and types of knowledge. His objective was to revive belief through developing new teaching methods where existing forms were inadequate or had been abolished. As a popular didactic work, therefore, Risala Noor performed the function primarily of tafsir, that is Quranic exegesis, and such other traditional madrasa sciences as logic, that is aqaid, usul al-din, that is principle of religion, and kalam theology. Nursi himself called it a work of kalam. and has been credited with carrying out a genuine renewal in this field. Nursi treatment of belief of faith, Iman, is one of the most original and effective aspects of the Risala-e-Nur, and his persuasive analysis are certainly one of the main responses for the work's impact on successive generations. Nursi's intention with the above-mentioned method was to gain for people a dynamic, living faith that he calls belief by investigation, that is Iman-e-Tahqiqi. This form of belief, which is a concise affirmation and verification, is the opposite of belief by imitation, which can be easily dispelled by doubts. Rationalism and faith versus materialism and atheism. Nursi's writing, collectively known as the Risala-e-Nur, uncompromisingly explore the fundamentals of belief while refuting the basis of materialistic philosophy and the methods of serving religion. In a dream, where Nursi was called to answer to past Islamic scholars and prophets on the progress of Islam in present conditions, Nursi draw a comparison between Islam and the Western civilization to show how Islam rejects Western capitalism and is consequently rejects Western modern civilization. Because of the aggressive ambition of the West in conquering and causing the collapse of Ottoman Empire, and also in the insidious working of exploitative capitalism, Nursi felt that modern man had become corrupt by the excessive and ugliness of Western civilization. Nursi also found it pertinent to point out that modernity is not the product or property of Christianity, and that conversely, Islam is not be seen as in association with retrogression and decline. Western imperialism saw the rise of modernity framed in terms of Christianity, which also means that Islam is often seen as a traditional mode of thinking which holds people back from a form of Western-induced modernity. This particular mode of modernity is not, however, a modernity in its true philosophical sense of being always on the frontier of the new, but rather a Western style of living and thought that had come to dominate the world. Another important aspect of Western modernity was atheism, and Nursi stressed the importance of evidence or natural theology to get educated people to believe in God. The goal is to prove the existence of God at the individual level. According to Sayyid Nursi, the source of atheism shifted from ignorance in the past to the lack of scientific knowledge. By scientific knowledge, Sayyid Nursi means a search for regularities in nature as a proof of God. Through the laws of nature, Sayyid Nursi seeks to consolidate the reason, requires us to recognize God. The Nur movement cultivates a new form of consciousness, deep anti-feudalism, by using the means of science and technology to prove that there is a God. I come to the conclusion that he did not reject European idea outright, but rather sought to develop critical thinking within Islamic Ottoman tradition. He realized the need to develop a new idiom in the age of skepticism and materialism. Nursi sensed that Islam was under the siege of positivism, skepticism, and atheism, motivated by his writings. This sense of peril actually remained with him until the end of his life, motivating him to defend the Quran as compatible with human reason. According to Nursi, the Jewish, Christians, and Islamic revelations are the word, and their interpretations can vary according to their time and space. Thank you.